Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Eustace Pharmer and I hope you're doing well today. So this is episode 3 in our Thornton Farm Let's Play series. But today we're not going to be doing too much Let's Playing. Unfortunately, as you've seen by the thumbnail for the video, we've had a combine fire. And that happened right over here. Now, as the story goes in the game, it's been several months, let's say, from the last vlog video that we've done, and we've since harvested this field again and made some more bales. But we had the harvester parked over here. The combine operator had it parked over here, and it was still running because we were going to take the header off of the combine. And I had the Taurus tractor, the Dutzfar Taurus, that orange one we had. I had that with the trailer, and I pulled up in front of the harvester, and it burst into flames. Also, what was over here was our other little Massey Ferguson, and he was removing the Krone baler off the field, and that was also engulfed in the flames. So we have lost 2 tractors, the header, the yellow trailer, and we have lost the combine, the Class Lexian combine. So yeah, it was quite a harrowing experience. But yeah, you can see that we were very fortunate because it was igniting the stubble on the fields. And I was actually running back to get another tractor to get the water trailer up here to try to hose down the field a little bit. And I was making some calls to see if a local farmer can come with their backhoe, and I thought maybe to keep things from spreading, we would dig a big trench, a perimeter around the area until the fire brigade was able to come out here. But we were very lucky. The fire brigade is superb out here, and they were here within minutes. So they had it well under control. And that's a good thing, because with all this stubble on the field and these hay bales, I'm thinking it could have been a chain reaction, and one thing could have ignited another, and then we could have ignited the brush, and then the buildings, because even though these buildings are corrugated, well, they call it corrugated steel, but it's like tin, so that would get pretty hot and go up in flames, especially with all these wandering vines hanging off of it. That's great fuel to do that. And then you figure if it starts igniting these buildings, then it's eventually going to get over here to the grain storage and to the fuel box down there. Sounds a little far-fetched, but it sure can happen. And you would have a lot of fireworks and explosions going on over here. So basically, we still have our JCB, and then because we got some insurance money, we were able to purchase another Massey Ferguson tractor, and this is a used tractor. It's just in remarkably good condition. Bought it in the local area, about 20 miles from here, and it's actually upgraded since the other one we had. So this is the 7726 model. So I figured, we need a little something bigger. We can't afford to have, little yard shunters hanging around and all that, because now we're in great need to get back on our feet. So we have to make some really smart choices. So that being said, we also invested in another used tractor, the 7930 John Deere, and our mechanic went over it with a fine-tooth comb, and it's in wonderful working condition, and this is going to be a very good addition to the farm. And so, as you know, our combine harvester is gone, so that's unfortunate. But there is, I'm not going to call it a silver lining in this cloud. I'm going to call it a tin lining. How's that? We are going to go to Björnholm, Sweden, and we're going to go to an agricultural expo / fair type event that they hold out there. And basically what they do is everything to do with agriculture. Everybody comes to show their wares. So there is agricultural repair companies. There is the agricultural equipment dealers selling and showing off all their new equipment, and they're also allowing people, if they apply ahead of time and have the proper papers in order. You have to have all of your equipment validated, but you can bring equipment to sell. But it has to be in very good condition and in very good mechanical working order. So we are going to go to this expo, and I'm inviting you all to come along with me in the next episode with that. And we're going to be look around to purchase a new harvester and possibly one other tractor. So that being said, we also procured a new baler because we lost the Krone. So we have the McHale Fusion 3 baler now, and I have to say I enjoyed using it. It's actually a very good baler. It's a nice alternative to the Krone. And the one thing that is kind of annoying is the stopping as it's doing its thing, offloading one bale and bringing the next one back. But that's a very, very minor inconvenience. And the nice thing about this is you can place two bales down side by side of the field virtually at the same time. So that's great because you can double spike them when you're loading them. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing is taking the bales off of this field. And that's probably going to happen after our, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be going to Switzerland first or if we'll be doing the bales. I'm thinking we should get the bales off of the field before our trip, because our trip is coming up very soon. So we should probably do this in the next vlog episode. So all that being said, there is just a little bit more unfortunate news. Because we are kind of strapped for money now, really can't afford to keep the Cat Challenger around. It's a very big, sophisticated piece of machinery, very expensive to run and maintain, and we really don't need something right now that massive on our farm. So what I have done is I've called around and I've placed some advertisements, and lo and behold, someone that had come through that was down at the dealership saw the tractor and said that they really liked it a lot and they would like to have it for their farm, and they have made me a generous offer. So we are going to sell that tractor to them. But we are going to go and have a final look at it before we send it off, because we've put a lot of money into that tractor to get it the way we want it. So that's what we're going to do. So I will go ahead and meet you over at the dealership. See you in a second. All right, so here we are at the dealership. So down here in the class section of the dealership, there is another American transplant to Thornton by the name of Mr. Joey Baccigalup, and he's a nice Italian gentleman from Brooklyn, New York, and he's come out here, married an English girl, and decided he loved the UK so much, as do I, so he came to settle out here and found himself a nice job at the Claas tractor dealership because he used to sell used cars back in the United States. So, being that I have to embarrassingly admit that we did have a rather cut-rate insurance company, so I really didn't get full value of things. So I don't have enough money to purchase a proper personal vehicle. So Mr. Baccigalup has graciously gathered up some what he calls antique vehicles from the local area and purchased them wholesale, and plans to sell them down here in cooperation with the dealership, and they'll get a piece of the profit. So he said that we can have any car in this lineup that we would like for $5,000. So I think that's a great deal. So while I'm getting the paperwork and everything settled at the dealership, I'm going to have you talk with Mr. Baccigalup, and he's going to tell you a little bit about these cars. But the one thing that I'm going to suggest that he does right away is this vehicle here, we need to have this removed because these are from a rather popular video game that's out, and the logo for that video game is on the side of the vehicle. And you may say, oh, well, what's the big deal, right? Well, I know a YouTuber, a very prominent YouTuber, that enjoys playing this video game, and she was showing some content for the video game, and the logo just happened to be within that content in the video. And the game company, I guess, tagged her channel with copyright violation just for a little clip of this logo. And I think her channel was shut down for a year. She couldn't do any live streaming or any of that, and that's basically what she does. She doesn't seem like she does many recorded Let's Plays. She does a lot of live streaming. So that was crippling for her, and it all started because of a little logo. So that's going to have to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to Joey, and he'll tell you a little bit about these cars, and maybe that'll give you some foresight, and you can help me make a decision when I come back. See you in a minute. Hello there, all you peoples. I'm Mr. Joey Bunchigaloop, and I work here at the Class Tractor dealership, but I also have a little sideline of selling you some used cars here. So while Mr. EUSTACE Pharmer there, well, he's in there taking care of all his paperworks, I'll tell you a little bit about these little gems out here, and maybe you can help him get off his rear end to make a decision and buy one of these. So now you may look at these here vehicles and say, oh, these are old junk. No, they are not old junk at all. These are classic antiques from the area, and we have brought them all down here to give them new life and new homes. So we'll start over here. Now, this car may be for a little bit more of a younger gentleman. It's got that nice 1950s space age look. You know, a little bit of George Jetson going on there with the bubble on the roof there. So paint job needs a little bit of rubbing compound, a little bit of wax. But other than that, this baby starts right up. Goes like a dream. And then we have this little cream puff over here. Very nice car. It's got some miles on it. Still runs very well. It's got a little shimmy and shake when you take it on the highway. But other than that, not too bad at all. So, yeah. It's got the best of both worlds here. It's a nice sized car. So you get the little family style action going on there. But it's also a two-door. So you got that nice sporty look as well. So it's good if you like a little of each. And I dare say that this could be a family car as well, even though it has two seats. Because if you got a baby or two, you know, you throw a blanket down there on the back ledge. You can throw the babies up there. Nothing going to happen to them. You get into a crack up in the front, they're only going to go as far as the top of the seat there. That's going to stop them. You can always stand up some cardboard back there, you know, keep them from flying forward. And, you know, even a good-sized little kid. You could throw a little kid up back there, get some sunshine, get to look at the clouds while you're driving along, and even your pet. So, yes, I dare say this could double as a family car, most certainly. And then we got this here Mama Luke over here. Now, this one's a little bit heavy on the gas, absolutely. But it's well worth it. This is a car like you would see maybe if it was in black, 1950s movie stars or something like that. Can you see yourself in the back there with a nice hat on, a nice pair of shades, maybe a handkerchief in your suit pocket? You know, let's go, James. Let's go down to the beer garden. So there you go. Nice tires on the car, those nice big white walls that were come to know in the 40s and the 50s. And again, could use a little bit of rubbing out on the paint, a little bit extra shine. But this here car has character. You know it's been around the block a few times, but it's still in great shape. It's got some extra detailing to give it that nice, modern space-aged look. A lot of character. Excuse the bushes. I backed that up a little too far. So you can still see hints of the chrome. Like I say, a little polish, that chrome's going to come right back. And as always, this little cream puff, it starts right up on a dime. Runs like a dream. It's a good car. I drove it up and down the street for a good solid 5 minutes. No shaking, no nothing. The tires didn't fall off, so I'm impressed. So definitely worth the $5 grand there. And then we got your all around here, all-purpose picker-up truck, as they call it. This is in the name in the back. Pick her up. Very nice truck. Got a nice wide bed in the back. Fit all your groceries in there, whatever else you want to shovel in there. Throw it all back there. It's got that nice Macintosh looking candy apple red. It's got a few little dings and bug guts on the front there, but again, that's all love and character. These vehicles, they hold memories. That's how you look at it. You're not just buying a car, you're buying happy memories. So this is a one-seater, so that's something to be considered. So if you're buying it just because you want to do some work on your farm or whatever, and you're just one guy riding in there you go. You can also throw people in the back, not a trouble. Just don't have them sit on the edge, because the shocks on this, the leaf springs are a little under the weather. That'll have to be looked at, so the truck, you know, it can sway a little bit around the corners. So yeah, any one of these 5Gs can be yours to take home today. This is Joey Botchagaloop, and I thank you very much for your time, and I hope you can get this Jamokes to buy a car, this gentleman to buy a car from me. Thank you very much, and good day. All right, everybody, so I just got out of the office. We paid the bill and signed some paperwork, and actually signed the bill of sale for the new owner of the tractor. So we're going to go ahead into the garage and have a look at it and give it a once around to make sure everything came out the way it should. So the door is right here, so I'm going to go ahead and head into the garage, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so here we are at the garage at the dealership, and the tractor was parked right here, and they rolled it outside to give it a nice gentle wash before we head off with it. So that was very nice of them. So let's go ahead, roll these doors up, and get out there and get on with it. All right, there it is. Looking good. Got a nice sunny yellow Cat Challenger paint job and a nice satin matte finish. And took all that nice shine off of there. So now I will tell you something, all story aside. The developer that made the other tractor, the shiny tractor, we'll call it the Shining. He updated his mod, and this is the updated mod. However, when he updated it, it came with like everything here, like inside the wheel gears and all this was all like a light gray, and it had like this peeling chipped finish on it, and it was all over the stack and the back as well. And I didn't quite care for that look. It kind of looked like a little bit of a 1980s sponge paint you'd do on the wall. For those of you old enough to remember. So I went into the DDS files and I airbrushed some different colors on there. So I did the frame rail and the front counterweight and the steps and all the trim. So you can see I put a gradient on it to kind of differentiate the different wheel gears in there, and I did the linkages in the back. Now I know it's not epic, you know, I don't know how to really do much quality work with mods, so I just was experimenting and playing around, and that's what I came up with, and I thought it looked better than the one that I downloaded. So I will show you a picture of the transformation. I don't have the other one, but I will throw up some pictures for you here. So the inside is pretty good. There is no IC control. So yeah, when you see here, it's the Lumini Spate and Lumini Fata. Those are the front and back lights. So I'll show you that. There's the fronts, and there's the back. So if you're doing your traditional headlight, it'll make the clicking sound, but it will not work. It's not broken. you have to do number 5 and 6 on your keypad, not your number row, but your number keypad, and that'll take care of that. And you can't see that little tiny FPS meter that Steam gives us, so let's see, bring that one up. So as you see, it doesn't take a hit at all on the FPS. I noticed with some of the tractors that I have, turning on the lights can really make a big hit on your FPS. This is not the case here. So really great job, nice tractor, and I hope I haven't insulted the modder. Really, honest to goodness, I don't mean to sound critical or anything like that. I just didn't care for that particular look, so I kind of jazzed it up myself. I don't think I did a very particular epic job either, so, but it's a little bit more towards what I was looking for, so it's good enough for me. So unfortunately, I can't give you this particular mod into the general public because I altered it, and you know, I'm not supposed to be passing that around to everybody. But I will leave, it's in my mods list, in my my mod spreadsheet, and there's a link down for that. So you can download it from there. It's the Cat Challenger in the tractors. So please do pop in there and grab it for yourself. It's awesome. So pull up a little bit for you. Now there is one thing I will say. If you watch my FPS, and it's probably going to make a liar out of me now. Yeah. But when these smoked tinted windows, that's the only thing that, yeah, see? That's the only thing that kind of really hits the FPS hard. I mean, it's really no big deal for me. You know, as long as it doesn't go too much below 60, because that's, you know, 60 is acceptable. But I like to have the FPS up as high as I can, you know, because I paid for a new monitor with a high refresh rate, you know, high resolution, so I want to get the most out of it, and it makes my videos more smooth. So, but overall, you really don't, and it does get a little slippery back here. That's not the tractor, it's something with the ground here. I found it in several places, just in the dealership lot, and it's happened with a lot of other vehicles. They kind of slip and slide and get a little sticky in spots on the ground here. So that's easily remedied if you got drive control 4, 5, 6 on your number row, and off it goes. So, you know, and you really can't blame the ground here as much either. I mean, it might actually be something in relationship with the tractor. You know, maybe the tractor doesn't have quite the traction that it's supposed to. So that's something also to keep in mind. I rode it around on a field and stuff, and it seemed fine. So, good mod. Overall, good mod. I think you'll enjoy it. So, that's that. So, now I think I'm going to go out front and mull over those antique cars and see which one that we're going to get. I think we're going to go for that big green sedan. So, but we'll have a look around and mull it over a little bit and maybe get Joey annoyed with me a little more, and then we'll make a decision. So, yeah, I'll see you in a second. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed talking to Joey. He's quite a colorful character, I know. So, after looking over all these cars, I spent a little bit of time mulling them over, and, you know, sitting inside each one of them. So, I think I owe it to my family to get a nice family car that we can afford right now, and I think this is going to be our choice. So, being that I have a wife and 2 daughters, this will be a nice car to go cruising through the Thornton area countryside, and on a nice Sunday or Saturday afternoon like this one today, and it'll just be great. So, and Mr. Bonchikaloop has also assured me that it's in great running condition. It's nice and safe. They went over it, and he said if anything is wrong with it, he said he's happy to accommodate me, and I can bring it down to be fixed when my when my budget permits. So, I guess that's what we have to take. So let's go ahead and drive our new vehicle home. There we go. Nice and roomy back there. Plenty of cup holders for everybody. Gotta love it. Needs a little TLC, though. All right. And what do you know? As miracles would have, I remembered to take off the parking brake. Let's see. Actually, let's go back this way. Let's go to the left today. There's another road to take us back to the main farm. And I'm always, by habit, going this way. So let's go a different way today. Oh, got a little smoke there. A little exhaust deal going on there, huh? Well, might have to look into that. Seems to run okay. There we are. Right down this way. Well, the turning radius is a little getting used to. Found some holes in the floor because I saw the grass coming through. So yeah, we'll have to spend a couple of weekends getting this up to snuff. We're not going to do much with the cosmetic looks. There we are as our bales. But just to make sure that everything is solid. And I mean, for the money, that's what I get. You get what you pay for. But I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to have such nice people in the area come together and really try to help. So, very nice of them all. There we are. Now, I don't know where we're going to park this right now. Maybe we'll just bring it under here for now. Oh, yeah. Look at that smoke, huh? Yeah, there's definitely something going on there. Maybe it smells like oil. Maybe it's burning some oil. Well, this car actually looks very fitting in the bushes. There we go. We'll just park it here. Probably should have put it over there, but this is good for now. I can always move it. It's in the shade. Being that it's got leather seats, you don't want to leave it out in the hot sun, especially if you get in with shorts on. Ouch. All right. So, yeah. So, this little scenario aside, I will share with you just for a moment of your time what really happened here. So, as you see, there is no more soil mod indicator on my screen. I removed the soil mod. And not because I'm a chicken. I was actually embracing it, and I was looking forward to it. However, I had a series over the past week. One day I had like 3 massive game crashes and literally wiped out my game XML. It's a good thing that I had an earlier backup. It wasn't too far off, so I was able to restore that. And then I decided before I reharvested this field and all that, I would play around with the game a bit and see if there's any conflict with anything else, and the game crashed twice more. So after removing a bunch of mods, and there were some mods that were causing trouble because I was really noticing that some of them were really acting funny and taxing my FPS. So I got rid of those. One being was this helicopter mod that I had. I actually put that on an empty map of Thornton Farm, and took all the other mods out of my folder except for the required mods and put that in there, and it was really acting weird, so I got rid of it. But when all said was done, even after getting rid of the other mods, I saw an improvement, but not a huge improvement. So I didn't know what else there was left, and then I remembered, what else did I recently install that was soil mod? As soon as I took it out of the folder, ba-boom. Knock on wood, thus far, problem solved. Now, I'm not going to say, obviously, that anything is done maliciously. It's just, you know, in the modding community, and I'm no expert at all this, I have never built a mod. And I am, you know, rather new to the PC end of the gaming. When I used to do PC gaming eons ago, it was much different. Let's just leave it at that. But there's many different ways, and everybody's got their own style of doing things. And sometimes those styles may not play right with the game. You know, the way people, I guess, code things or write scripts, they may not mesh well with other elements in the game, and sometimes they're just it's just impossible to predict, you know, if something is going to be compatible. So now, let's face it, there are malicious people out there. You know, just because, you know, anytime I go to download a mod, I always hover over the download button, and down in the left-hand corner of your screen, in the lower left-hand corner, you'll actually see the little file name. It should come up. After I download it, before I even open it, I right-click on it and I scan it with my antivirus software. If you have free antivirus software, you are asking for trouble, okay? I've always had a paid subscription because it's always more comprehensive. So I'm sure there's people out there that could defend that against free antivirus software, but I'm letting you know right now, any free antivirus software is not going to be as comprehensive, and Windows Defender and all that, it's useless. So please, if you do not have proper antivirus software, please get it. But anyway, even after scanning the folder and all that, let's face it, there's still other things that could be done to mess up people's day. You can put stuff into code to make your game screw up, to make things happen that shouldn't happen. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional virus that any virus software would pick up. So, I think for the most part, it's all innocent enough. I just think it's compatibility stuff. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the soil mod, and I certainly don't believe at all that there's anything wrong with this map, because I have seen soil mod being played on this map by other YouTubers, and it runs just fine. It could have been some of the other scripts that I had in conjunction with it that made this crash happen. So, like I had, you know, like the Bale extension mod. I had, you know, a few other little things like that. So, I did remove those also from my folder because the Bale extension mod is kind of cool, but I really don't need it, you know? And to be quite honest, it's kind of nice that I could let the bales sit out on field, and we can just pretend that I'm letting them dry out, and I don't have to worry about them deteriorating. So, and I'm usually pretty timely about getting them up off the field and under cover anyway. So, I hope I don't disappoint a lot of you, but I will not be putting soil mod back. I probably could at this point, but to be quite honest, you know, this computer of mine that I have is brand new. I bought it back in February, and it is a Alienware X51R3, and you know, I kind of went up against my better judgment buying an Alienware computer, and I do come to regret it because their customer service is absolutely horrible. So I will never purchase another Dell Alienware computer again. That being said, also, like a fool, I bought a Dell Alienware gaming monitor, and the tech, I was having some problems with it, it seemed, and the tech went through my computer to try to test things to fix the problem, and he wound up screwing things up so bad he had to do a system restore on me. So this all happened in the matter of a week. So they're supposed to send me a replacement monitor, and I've had to call continually. This is, been waiting for the monitor for like, 2 weeks. So still involved with that. So yeah, getting back to it, I could put soil mod back in, but I don't want to risk another crash like that at the expense of my computer, and it's just not that important to me. I do a lot of other creative things, and you know, been playing the farm all along happily without soil mod. So it's a nice addition. It really does add an element of realism to the game, but not at the expense of my hardware and software. So I'm going to have to say goodbye to soil mod. So if any of you were really looking forward to seeing me do more with that, I'm very sorry and I apologize, but I do come up with some creative things often enough, you know, now and then. Not every episode's going to be a little story or an epic film premiere of any kind, but you know, I do come up with some other creative ideas now and then. So I hope you will still stay with me. And let's face it, soil mod is a lot of spraying, basically. It's a rush against the clock. You know, it's spray, 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 hurry up and harvest, as I'm sure it is in real life. But from what it seems from when I watch other YouTubers is a lot of people, as I've said before, complain that they don't want to see all the spraying. Well, if I'm doing most all of it off camera and all you're seeing is the stuff that we usually do on camera anyway, plowing, harvesting, cultivating, and other things, why bother running it? That's what I'm saying. So I'm here to play the game for myself. I enjoy playing the game, and I figure if I'm playing it, I may as well record it because I like to share my gameplay with all of you, and hopefully many of you will come to enjoy it and can build a nice, long, happy relationship with the YouTube community and make some good friends along the way. So yeah, that's what I've done. And speaking of good friends, I have come across a subscriber. He's a very nice man. I have a lot of very nice subscribers, to be honest. I'm very fortunate. This gentleman has a gaming YouTube channel of his own. It's called TBF Gaming. Chris Bond. He's also on all the social networks and Instagram as well. But I'm going to put up a link here to his channel on YouTube. And, well, the link will be in the description, but here's the little picture of it. So I do hope you'll go check him out. He's a really nice guy. Does a lot of farming simulator, and he also has some personal life vlogs that he does, and he's got an adorable little girl that they vlog together, and it's a really nice family fun channel, and there's something there for everybody. He also plays other games too. He likes Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. So yeah, he's got a nice little thing going, so please do check him out. Okay, so I think for now we're going to leave this episode here. I'm sorry a lot of it was a lot of jibber jabber and talking, but I wanted to let you know where things have been, and I have made some additions to the farm as well since we had the disaster. So we've got some new outbuildings over there, and actually before we leave off, let me just go and show you. So I got rid of the fence, the little fencing, and I put this building here because I figure I'm going to park things over here. Why not have a little covered shed? And we're going to go ahead and hop the wall because I'm feeling spry today. So what I did with this little field back here, and this is the field that's right in back of the farm, field 15. So cultivated it down, and I put some buildings over here. I figured this would be nice for the hay bales and straw bales. So, and we can have our mixing wagon in there, and we can mix our bales up out here, our mixed ration. And then I have this one to put maybe equipment and extra tractors and stuff like that as time goes by, but I got the tipping trailers and overloader in there for now. But that'll be our equipment overflow. And then we have field work equipment and stuff in here. So we can add to it as time goes by. But 3 nice little buildings, planted some grass, and I tried to make it look like it's been well driven on. So I left some bare spots. But I figured this is a nice convenient little area, especially that it's in back of, where the cows are and the silage pits and the cow barns over there. So that'll be good to have the hay back there. We can also put it here, but I don't know. I figured in real life, if you get a good rain and windstorm, they're going to get soaking wet in there anyway. So nice to have them under cover. So yeah, so those are the little improvements we made. And some of this equipment also, I have some other mods that I'm going to feature in my Let's Plays as far as the tedder goes and the windrowers and stuff. I have some other mods that I've downloaded. So we're going to be showing those off too. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. So I think that's about it. And again, we're going to have to think about, at some point, a forage harvester. I don't know if we will purchase a permanent one for the farm or if we'll just pay a contractor to do our forage harvesting work, because we're going to have our regular combine harvester permanently on farm. So we might give back to the community because there's a few people here in the area that have forage harvesters. So it might be nice to either, maybe even lease their harvester for the day, their forager, and we can do it ourselves, or pay them to come over and do some of the work. So yeah, whatever. Try to build a nice relationship with the community. All right. So with all that being said, again, sorry about all the jibber jabber, but I figure, there was stuff I wanted to show you and things to tell you about. So I hope you got some knowledge out of this. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Our next episode is going to be getting those bales up off of the field. So I'm going to do that manually. We'll use the bale spike and the JBC telehandler, and we'll manually stack some bales up. And maybe if we have time, we'll do a few other things too. And then that will be probably episode 4. And then episode 5, that's going to be our trip to Switzerland to go on our equipment hunting adventure. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So I hope you're doing well and having a great morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. So take care, and bye-bye for now.